Filipinos are being banned from the United States like never before. Families are being torn apart, longtime residents are being forced onto planes, and entire communities are drowning in fear. In 2025, Trump's immigration crackdown has reached extreme levels, turning cities into hostile zones where Filipinos are no longer welcome. Thousands are being banned, detained, and deported with no warning. Imagine spending years building your life in America, only to be told you must leave immediately. The fear is real, and the numbers are growing. Pay close attention to find out the 10 cities in the United States that are banning Filipinos in 2025. 1. Seattle is home to one of the largest Filipino communities in the Pacific Northwest, with thousands of families contributing to the city's workforce and culture. However, in recent months, many have faced the reality of deportation as immigration enforcement under the Trump administration has intensified. Families have been separated, workers have been removed from their jobs, and neighborhoods that once thrived with diversity now experience fear and uncertainty. The primary reason behind these deportations stems from stricter immigration laws targeting undocumented individuals and those with minor legal infractions. Under the new policies, federal authorities have ramped up operations in urban areas, increasing arrests and deportations even for those who have lived in the United States for decades. This shift has disproportionately affected Filipinos in Seattle, many of whom have been working legally but lack full documentation. The consequences are devastating: families torn apart, businesses losing valuable employees, and entire communities facing emotional and financial turmoil. Many Filipino families who remain in Seattle now live in fear, uncertain about their futures in a city that once embraced them. 2. Chicago has long been a hub for immigrant communities, and Filipinos have played a major role in shaping the city's workforce. With thousands of Filipino healthcare professionals, restaurant workers, and service industry employees, their presence is undeniable. However, recent immigration policies have drastically changed the landscape. Families who have lived in Chicago for years are suddenly being deported, leaving entire neighborhoods shaken and businesses struggling to fill positions. The main reason is the federal government's aggressive approach to targeting undocumented individuals, regardless of their contributions to society. Immigration enforcement agents have increased their presence, making arrests in workplaces, hospitals, and even schools. Filipino healthcare workers who have been on the front lines for years are now being removed, worsening the already critical shortage of medical staff. Without enough nurses, doctors, and essential workers, Chicago's healthcare system is on the verge of collapse. The fear within the Filipino community is spreading as families are uncertain about their future in a city they once called home. 3. Las Vegas has long been a place where Filipinos have built strong communities, working in hotels, restaurants, and casinos. Their presence has shaped the city's hospitality industry, bringing warmth and dedication to customer service. However, the wave of deportations has hit hard, forcing many to leave behind the lives they built. Families are being torn apart, businesses are losing experienced workers, and a once thriving community is living in fear of what comes next. The reason behind these deportations lies in the strict enforcement of immigration laws. Authorities have been cracking down on undocumented workers, particularly in industries that heavily rely on immigrant labor. Many Filipinos who have worked legally for years but lack full documentation are now facing deportation, leaving businesses struggling to replace skilled employees. The local economy suffers, and entire families are left without financial stability. 4. Honolulu has always been a city where Filipinos have contributed to various industries. Many have lived in Hawaii for generations, shaping the local culture. However, the recent surge in deportations has devastated families who once felt secure. The government's stricter immigration policies have forced many out, leaving behind jobs, businesses, and deep-rooted connections. Federal authorities have intensified their presence in Honolulu, carrying out raids in workplaces and residential areas. Many of those deported had been part of the workforce for years, contributing to the hospitality and healthcare sectors. Families are being torn apart, children are left without their parents, and communities are losing valuable members. Fear and uncertainty now overshadow a city that once welcomed Filipinos with open arms. 5. San Diego has long been home to a strong Filipino presence, with many serving in the military and contributing to various industries. Families who once felt secure due to their ties to the U.S. Navy now face an uncertain future. Deportations have increased, separating parents from children and forcing long-term residents to leave. Military members who once thought their service would shield their loved ones from deportation are now watching helplessly as family members are removed. The military community, once a source of unity, now faces fractures. San Diego, once a beacon of hope for many Filipinos, is now becoming a place of distress. 6. Houston has long depended on Filipino healthcare workers, with many serving in hospitals, nursing homes, and clinics. These professionals have been vital in providing care to a growing population. Yet, many are now facing deportation. Immigration raids have increased across medical facilities, leading to a loss of skilled professionals who have been in the country for years. Families who once felt secure are now living in fear, unsure if they will be forced to leave everything behind. Houston's healthcare system, which once thrived thanks to these dedicated workers, is now crumbling under the weight of these policies. 7. New York City has long been a destination for immigrants seeking a better future, and Filipinos have built strong communities here for decades. However, recent deportations have shaken these neighborhoods, forcing families apart and disrupting livelihoods. Despite New York City's stance as a sanctuary city, federal agencies have found ways to conduct operations that result in the arrest and deportation of Filipinos. Small businesses are struggling as Filipino workers disappear overnight, and families are left without breadwinners. What was once a city of dreams for many Filipinos is now a place of distress. 8. Los Angeles is home to one of the largest Filipino communities in the United States, with historic Filipinotown serving as a cultural and economic hub. Many Filipinos have built successful businesses and careers in the city, contributing to its diverse economy. However, recent immigration crackdowns have led to a surge in deportations, tearing families apart and leaving many businesses struggling. Filipino-owned businesses are struggling to survive as workers are forcibly removed, and families are torn apart with little warning. The emotional toll is severe, with many individuals feeling a loss of security in a city they once considered home. 9. San Francisco has been a gateway for Filipino immigrants for over 100 years, serving as a place where families built their dreams. However, the recent surge in deportations has shattered this sense of stability. Families are being separated, and workers who have contributed to the city for decades are being forced to leave. The Filipino presence in San Francisco is under threat, and the emotional toll of living in constant fear has left many feeling unwelcome. 10. Daly City has long been a beacon for Filipino immigrants, earning its nickname Little Manila due to its strong cultural presence and deep-rooted communities. However, the wave of deportations has turned this thriving community into a place of fear. Families are being torn apart, and the once lively streets now feel uncertain. Schools have reported a decline in attendance as parents keep their children home out of fear. Daly City, once a place of hope and opportunity, is now facing an uncertain future. While no city has explicitly banned Filipino immigrants, the intensified federal immigration policies under the current administration have significantly impacted these communities. What do you think about these deportations? Do you believe these policies will continue, or is there hope for change? Let me know in the comments, and tell me where you are watching from. If you found this video informative, check out our previous video on the 10 US cities where Filipinos should not go after Trump wins in 2025. Share this video with someone who needs to see it. Staying informed is the first step toward finding solutions.